Welcome back, Padawans, to the first ever JMR Plays. So I wanted to start this series off with Need for Speed Unbound on the Steam Deck. So this was one of the first games that I bought at launch for the Steam Deck. So I wanted to test out some games and some titles that I, didn't know how they were going to run, but I had a feeling that they might run pretty good on the Steam Deck, and I wanted to see them there. That was the, my reasoning behind going, for those titles on the Steam Deck. Need for Speed Unbound was one of them. So I originally got Need for Speed Heat for the Steam Deck when I first got it. And that's because I always feel like I need to have a racing game, especially on a portable device. I gotta have a racing game in my back pocket, whenever I need it, because I just love racing games, and Need for Speed has been, in my life for a long time. And honestly, years past, I haven't really gravitated towards them, except for I think it's the 2016 one where they just dubbed it Need for Speed and they were trying to go back to form. I really, really loved that one. But Need for Speed Heat, I did enjoy, it's a good racing sim, so I was like, I would like to get that one, and it was unsupported, but I saw that it ran quite well, and it did. So when this one came out, it also said that it was unsupported, and I felt like, I think that this will run decently on the Steam Deck as, Need for Speed Heat did. And here you're seeing it running at a pretty consistent 30 frames per second if you look at the top corner right there. So it's a pretty decent experience. Now, I did go and I bought it on the PS5, but that is because I loved this game so much that I was like, you know what? I know, obviously, I can get it at a higher fidelity, a higher frame rate on the PS5 and really, get the next-gen gorgeousness of this game. And I was absolutely right. I love it on the PS5. So I did move away from it, but it was a good test to see how it would hold up. And I wasn't thinking I was going to get 60 frames out of this Steam Deck, with this game, but I did get a good 30 frames, and I was pretty surprised with the performance on this. It's almost as surprising as seeing Spider-Man, remastered run on this thing and how just smooth and crisp everything is on this handheld device. Now, again, it's not as crisp as you're going to see it on the PS5. Do not get me twisted, but for this little device here, and then let me tangent here. I love the cell shadedness. There's so much style in this game that really, really makes me just gravitate towards it. That's the reality of it. But, there are, Spider-Man, I'm not going to say that it is, the exact same thing as a console, but it is very good. And as you see here, the visuals are very, everything it's very easy to see. You know what I mean? It's a solid 30. Even as we're moving this fast, we're going through this drift here, 30 frames per second. So it's a good addition and a good, port to the PC, obviously, but for the Steam Deck, if you're trying to pick it up and play it to go. Now, one thing about this game is all of the different art styles that they're portraying here. So as you can see, when you're drifting and the different swirls around your tires as you move and you drift, there are going to be things as like when you hit people, when you're I already said, well, when you're using your boost, when you get into car accidents, all of these different things, they're going to have different images that pop up on the car. And it is something that you can customize, and I love it. I absolutely love it. It really puts this game on another level for me, and I think that's what they were going for with this title. There's a lot of racing games that are out there now, and a lot of, ones that are similar to what they're doing here, where it's an open world, you're driving to your different races and stuff like that. Now, what can we do as Need for Speed to keep our soul, keep us who we are, but also make it a little bit different and push the boundary? And I think they did something great here. Now, I've already talked about this, but I really, really hope that this turns a new leaf for Need for Speed, and that this is where they decide to keep going with the series, because I love the art style. And again, it's realistic. And again, if you play it on next gen console, our current gen hardware, it is amazing. It looks fantastic. So there is that, the realism, but then there's also the cell shaded characters, and then all of the different, these different neon lights that are coming behind the car, and then the smoke that happens. I love everything about this game aesthetically, and the racing is very tight. It's fantastic, and it's something that, again, runs well on the Steam Deck. And if you're a Steam Deck owner, this is one that you might need to pick up. But as always, guys, may the Force be with you.